AI didn't take their jobs, their comfort did. And AI just exposed it. Now let that hit, because honestly, these layoffs everybody's panicking about, most of them aren't really about AI, if we're being honest. They're about people who stopped evolving and a tool that exposed it faster than the boss ever could. Now check this out. People are acting like AI is just creeping through offices with a clipboard firing people one by one. But really, it's not as deep as I personally don't think it's as deep as people think it is. It's not walking down the cubicle saying you're out, you're being replaced. That's not what's happening. AI isn't hunting anybody. AI isn't even thinking about you. But AI is like a mirror, a cold, emotionless mirror that exposes who stopped sharpening their blade and who didn't, and who's willing to open up and put their pride aside a little bit. Now, the real layoffs came from people who plateaued, really. People who relied on routine. People who thought their job title was ironclad because it's always been that way. And people who stopped learning when the world kept moving on. And let's be real about that. So, AI didn't eliminate them. Their comfort did. And meanwhile, freelancers, the ones who's been, fighting in the trenches for years, are built for this moment. You know who you are. Because freelancers are like, we just come from discomfort. We live in uncertainty. We adapt on instinct. We pivot without permission. It's always been that way. And AI didn't replace freelancers, it really multiplied them. Well, for the most part. So remember, AI is not your competitor. It's really more like something that can help you out. And, you can add it to your team in a sense. If you use it right, you'll become faster, cleaner, more accurate at certain decisions, more consistent, and more lethal to your craft. But if you use it wrong or refuse to use it at all, you'll suddenly slow up and, find yourself in slow motion while everybody else is just passing you by. Just being real. You can use AI in subtle ways. It doesn't always have to be in like this big old grandiose thing that you're thinking about. Here's how freelancers could win in this AI era. Number one, you got to become a human hybrid predator in a sense. Like your creativity plus AI speed will create an unfair advantage with that going in your favor. Solve problems AI can't. Human pressure, human emotion, on-set improvisation that you thought AI could do, it really can't do that. That's still in your area as a human being. You gotta deliver speed, honestly. And I'm gonna be 100% real about that. I know, and I've been there, where a lot of people really don't wanna use AI to the point where it's hurting them. They don't want to add that speed. They want to do things at the slow pace that they used to doing things. And I get it. Certain things, you feel like, the turtle always wins the race. I'm going to take my time, and in the end, people are going to see it. People are going to appreciate it. Cool. But there are times, especially when it comes to like a lot of busy work, where AI can just warp you through a portal, really. And once you do it, you can't go back. You'll be like, damn, that was fast. I got more time to myself. Yeah, you need to really embrace that. You got to become the freelancer who gets it. Companies don't just want skilled people right now. They want people who can understand the new tools. You got to focus on depth and not fear. AI can make an amateur faster, but it can make an expert unstoppable. Be the expert that's unstoppable. That's the new battleground right there. That's the new war zone, if I'm being honest. Now, here's a story I'm gonna go over, right? In regards to this AI thing, just to put this into perspective. Meet Ray and Eddie, two real estate. I'm just go with the videographer lane because that's what I'm in. Two real estate and construction videographers hustling the same neighborhoods around LA. So we got two videographers like myself hustling around the same neighborhoods in LA. Same cameras, same editing software, same skill level, same starting point. But when the AI wave hit, one of them evolved and the other one got washed away. Eddie, the AI is cheating guy. Okay, so Eddie hated AI from day one. Anytime someone mentioned it to him or automation for tools, he'd just like go off. Man, that's fake. That's gonna ruin the industry. Oh, I'm a real editor. I don't need shortcuts. So he kept his editing slow. He wrote scripts from scratch every time. He spent hours color grading clips that AI could have just mashed in seconds. Especially for this field, where it's not like a narrative where you gotta really be there in every nook and cranny. He refused to use any modern tools because he thought it undermined his craft somehow. His clients loved his work, but they didn't love waiting 45 days for this perfect thing. And I'm saying that being funny when I say 45 days. Slowly they drifted away from him, just being quite frankly. Like, not because of his quality, but because he didn't keep up with the freelancers who evolved. Eddie wasn't replaced by AI. He was replaced by freelancers using AI. Now let's get back to Ray. Now Ray was the silent killer. Ray didn't rush to post about AI. He didn't judge it either. He didn't argue about it. He just kind of stayed neutral. Then he said, if this makes me faster, if I learn it before everybody else, I could use this to my advantage. So he used AI as a tool to generate client shot lists, build scripts, build mood boards in minutes, create versions, create variations of his stuff in seconds. But at the end we could go on about what he did, but at the end of the day, clients didn't care how he got so efficient. They just cared that he got so efficient. You know, they saw how fast he delivered. They saw how better his structure got. He had more options, lower stress, higher consistency, same quality in a fraction of the time. Within 6 months, Ray got, he was able to raise his prices, secure retainers, expand his workload, and so on and so forth. Not because he was more talented, it was more because he evolved. So the outcome, two freelancers, same market, same tools, same opportunities. One froze in fear, one leveled up. One clung into the old way of doing things, one learned the new way of doing things. And one believed AI was the enemy while the other one used AI to upgrade. And that's the real battlefield of 2025, if we're being honest. Can't even imagine what 2026 is going to be like. So the lesson, AI didn't create winners and losers. It kind of just revealed them. And if you honestly, look, I'm just going to say it. If you just walk away and just feel like you're above it, it's beneath you, you're going to lose fast. You're going to get replaced. Not by a robot, but by a freelancer who embraced the quote-unquote robot. The freelance warfare continues. What side are you going to be on? Soak that in, and I'll see you on the next one.